Hi students, welcome to today's online class. In today's session we will learn about inline functions and recursion. So first if we see inline function means the function which has expanded in a line during its invocation. So the word invocation means function is scheduled with all bounded arguments, that we call it as a invocation. Invocation means what? Calling a function in the sense with almost all the bounded arguments. So here the declaration and definition of such functions can be done simultaneously. So mainly in inline function the declaration and definition will be done at a time. So these functions compiler replaces the call with its respective function code. Means whenever you are calling a function which you have declared as inline function, that function whenever you call, so instead of calling that particular function directly, the code which is present in the function will be executed. So inline functions are used for executing small functions as it reduces the overload incurred during the normal function call. If you are calling a normal function, so each and every statement has to be executed, right? Instead of that, here in inline function only one or two statements of code will be presented. Whenever you are calling that particular function, the result of the code will be returned from that calling function. So it is implicitly embedded the copy of the function body during its invocation. So invocation means what? Calling the function means whenever you call a function, it will be scheduled. Scheduled means what? It compares all the arguments, what is the return type, so everything that is called as an invocation. So the inline functions are declared using what? Inline keyword, which tells the compiler to replace the function call with the function code. Here you can observe the syntax here. So inline is a keyword. So after giving inline keyword, you can give the function name. In the function name, you can give the statements. So statements which results a single value. You can, in example, you can observe here. Inline is a keyword and float is the data type of the function, and function name is what? Power. We are finding power of any number in this small example. In bracket we are given float x. So variable of a float data type. In the function code you will see written x into x. Directly when this float power function is called, when the function called power is called by the any of the calling function, by any of the any time, means with the same name power, directly the result which you have passed to the variable x will be resulted. So here you can observe the some of the where we will apply inline functions where we are not able to apply it, and advantages and disadvantages you can see here beside the here. However, there are certain situations where inline functions are not applicable. So where we are not where we cannot use inline functions means that inline function cannot be applied to recursive function and it cannot be main as inline. You can declare any function as inline but except main function. So you cannot declare a main function as inline function. So the functions containing static variables cannot be used. It means what? Static variable, it cannot be changed, right? Here we are using inline functions for the resultant of the code which we are given in the called function. So the functions containing any of the statements like for loop, if, switch and so on are also not applicable here. Okay, so this if any of the function, if you are having any statements like for loop and while, do while, that function cannot be declared and cannot be used as inline function. If you see the advantages of inline function here, so using inline function, it increases the speed of the program. So because the function is not called each time, it is invoked, instead a copy of it replaces the function call. We will call only once the function, so the code which is present in that called function will be returned to the calling function. So it is easier to read because the function contains only one or two statements. The point you have to remember here, so this inline function contains only one or two statements, that's it. So there are some of the disadvantages with this inline function, that are, it increases the size of the executable program. So it increases the size and it is difficult to read when the function code is large. So these are the disadvantages of inline function. A small program regarding inline function also I will forward in the notes. So next is storage. We have learned about storage classes in the last class. Recursive function, so we can call it as a recursion also. We can observe here in question number 28 in second point. So the definition of recursive function is it is a process or a technique by which function calls itself. Recursive and means reoccurring, you can say, means a function can be called many number of times. The code of the function can be executed many number of times, as we see in any of the loops, many iterative loops, right? In a similar way, we are iterating recurring the function only here. So the function is called a recursive function. So it contains the statements within its body, so which calls the same function. So in a recursive function, a statement is contained within the function only, so which is calls the same function. So it is also called as circular definition. So for this type of code we will call it what? Circular definition. A recursion can be, same code will be executed many number of times. Okay, a recursive can be classified as a direct recursion and indirect recursion. So in a direct recursion, the function calls itself, and in indirect recursion, function f1 calls another function f2, and the called f2 function calls the calling function. So direct function means what? The same function calls itself. Indirect function means what? When there are two functions, one function calls the another function. We can observe the example of a recursive function here. So what is the example here? Implementation of factorial using direct recursion. So factorial means as math students all you are you know about factorial, right? Factorial means 3 factorial means what? 3 into 2 into 1. 2 factorial means 2 into 1. 4 factorial means what? 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So multiplication of all the previous numbers we call it as a factorial of a given number. So you can observe here, especially this recursive function is mainly used in to find the factorial of a given number. You can observe here it has declared a fact function with the return type int, and we are passing a value of n. So integer data type. So in n value we are going to find the factorial of any of the given number. N is the value to find the factorial of that value. So integer f is declared here. If n double is equal to 0 or logical or, it means n not equal to 1. If this statement is true, it means what? There is no use of giving n value, right? If you are giving n is equal to 0, is there any need to find a 0 factorial? No need. 1 factorial means 1 only, 0 factorial means what? 0 only. So there is no need to find factorial for 0 and 1. So it is needed to find other than these two numbers. That's why we have given a condition if here. So if n double is equal to 0 or n double is equal to 1, f is equal to 1. So else, this controller jumps to else part here. Else f is equal to n star factor of n minus 1. Fact function is calling itself. It means what? This factorial function calls itself many number of times here. This is a process how we will find a factorial of a given number. We are returning f here. Okay, so as we are declared f variable, we are returning that value, we are initializing that formula of value in the f variable that is returned to the main function here. So now factorial of a number is obtained using these functions. To find factorial of 3, first number is what here, the execution process is given here, you can observe here, integer fact of 3. So we are going to find factorial of 3 number, suppose any of the number you can take it. So here I am considering here 3, here it is given. So in integer we have declared integer data type variable as float f. If 3 is equal to 0, 3 not is equal to 0, or 3 not is equal to 1 also, so it is not satisfied, it jumps to else part. In else part it is given f is equal to, the variable f is equal to 3 into fact of 3 minus 1. So it is a first term. So when it is 3 minus 1, integer fact 2. So when it is called again, factorial function is called again when it is called, it checks the same code. That is a code if 2 is equal to 0 or 2 not is equal to 1. Yes, it is a condition is not satisfied here. It jumps to else plot. You can observe circled numbers here in second execution, that is. So in second execution f is equal to 2 into fact of 2 minus 1. So 2 into fact of 2 minus 1 is what? Fact of 1. When it is a fact of 1 in integer data type float, if 1 is equal to 0 or 1 is equal to 1 is equal to 1, here condition is satisfied in the circular 2 number. So this when it is satisfied, it returns the values. It starts the returning value to its main function. Means first value what is written here, return f we have given, f is written here, return f value is what? 1 is written here, and you can observe reversely from 3 to in circular 3 1 is written, in circular 4 the same reversely it is 2 is written, in circular 4 the finally mainly it has 3. So it calculates 3 into 2 into 1. So hence the value of a factorial 3 is what? 6. So when a recursive call is made, the parameters and return address gets saved on a stack. Stack means what? Arranging one by one after the other is nothing but a stack here. So the stack gets wrapped. Wrapped means what? Combining all, whether the depending on the given formula. Here it has given multiplication, right? So after wrapping 3, 2, 1, that is 3 into 2 into 1. So the control is returned back. So what is the value here? The factorial of 3 is what? 6 we will get. In a similar way, whatever the number you will go, we will get the factorial of the given number. So here you can see some of the advantages of recursion. Advantages of recursion means what? A recursion function is small, simple and more reliable than other coded versions of the program. So recursion solves the problem in the most general way as possible. It is used to solve the problem in an easier way. Okay, so recursion is used to solve the more complex problems that have repetitive structure. As we are repeating the same code many number of times, it is useful in these situations. There are some of the disadvantages of recursion here. So that are, a recursive call is made, some of the system's memory is consumed. That is the disadvantage. Whenever you are calling the recursive call is made, some system memory is consumed. So usage of recursion incurs overhead. This technique is implemented using only function calls. Okay, so if we observe here, there is a program called to have a Fibonacci series. So Fibonacci series means adding continuous numbers. Like you can observe here, 0 plus 1 means what? 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 5, 13. It's nothing but a Fibonacci series. Here you can observe in the given program here, the same condition is applied. So using Fibonacci series only, same execution as we see in the factorial of a given number, the same execution will be there for this program also. The same formula, only formula is changed here. Here also we are repeating many number of times the same code. You can observe here beside there is a program in question number 30. So function declaration. write a C program, recursive C program for factorial n and explain. To find the factorial of a given number also, this program, as we have seen the explanation part, here the completely the program is given. So this is all about inline functions and recursive function. In the next class we will see the concept called pointers. Thank you.